everyone, and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the podcast. Happy Thursday to you. And if you're new around here, I always talk about how Thursdays are my favorite days because it is so close to the weekend, but you're still in the week, so you still feel like you have time to accomplish things before you get to the weekend, so you don't feel so overwhelmed by chores or whatever else is happening in your weekends. And I don't know, it just feels like a good day. Also, it's been a day that for almost a decade now, I've been offering prayer to people, and I have mentioned before I'm a little off my game on doing that. I've just let life take over and kind of push that to the back burner, but I definitely have been talking about wanting to bring it back. And anytime someone asks for prayer, though, I will offer it, like whatever they need. I am here for them. But I wanted to just mention that, so you're welcome to check the description box. It has my email address, my website, my Instagram, if you want to come check it out and ask for any prayer or give me any comments, questions, or concerns, whatever you want to provide. So happy Thursday to you. I hope that your day is starting off well and it's going to be awesome. Or if you're in the middle of your day, I hope that it's been going good. I was trying to say good and great, and I did that earlier today, and I'm just mashing them together. So maybe I should create my own word, which I'm sure I'm not the only person that has made that mistake, but I hope you're good. I hope you're great, and I hope you're good. And if you are not either one of those things and your day has been really tough, hard to handle, I understand. I absolutely understand. Today, me personally, recording this, because this week I had to record my podcasts like through the week as opposed to recording them all on the weekend, which is what I typically do. Just an insider thing. I don't think that's like magic that's, supposed to be a secret thing. Like, obviously people record things in advance, but I've had to record it every single day because of my schedule and how things are working out. And today I had a super rough day, and I was full of anxiety and worry, and I do know that probably tomorrow I'll wake up feeling so much better, because today was a day that I just left something in the past, and I'm so happy about it. But you know what I mean? Sometimes you can just have really tough days. So I am just here to encourage you to make sure you take that 5-minute reset time. So take that time to gather yourself together, have some peace on your own, be able to reboot, come back to baseline, and really just regather yourself. Get your mind under control if you feel like you're feeling super overwhelmed, if you feel like you're experiencing some anxiety. I totally get that. Also, take some time to find some things in your mind. I always say at least 4 if you're going to make a list of things that you feel grateful for. They can be really big things, really small things in the middle. Like, you can be grateful for your favorite show now streaming on an online streaming service. You can be grateful that you were able to buy a new laptop because the one you had broke. You can be grateful that you are able to finally eat in a restaurant for the first time in months because of COVID, or you can be grateful for having extra time with your spouse during quarantine, whatever it may be. Or you can just be grateful that your dog was super extra cuddly today, or your cat was. So I get it, but I just encourage you to make that short list. I also encourage you to maybe take some time to problem solve whatever was getting in your way, if you are able to solve it, and kind of like figure out how to avoid it and fix it so that you're prepared for later or for tomorrow. And the number one thing, though, is that when you walk away from this reset time, make sure that you're walking away feeling at least neutral about your day and not feeling negative, not wanting to tear anyone else's day down because you feel so angry and upset. I want you to walk away feeling at least neutral, but hopefully positive, in knowing that the rest of the day and the next day can be even better. And just know that there are so many things to be grateful for. Things could have been worse. I am not here at all, I say it all the time, to diminish your feelings at all whatsoever, and kind of what do they say, gaslight you and say like, oh, it's like you're not really experiencing anything, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying to kind of look at the big picture so that you can kind of keep your mind in the best mindset it can be, so you're able to get over those problems, those humps, those bumps that come into your life. So anyway, but I hope that your day has been going well. Again, happy Thursday. And just a reminder that this week we are talking about growing your mindset, and today, Thursday, we're going to talk about cultivating curiosity. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. I don't have a lot of things to say today about this topic, but I needed to mention it because I believe it is very important to stay curious in life, just in general, getting out there, just wanting to know how things work, what's going on in the world, how are things developing, why this has happened and why this hasn't happened, and how things are. Just continue to be curious, continue to want to know things, desire information, and truly in your heart want to know more and more so that you can grow as a person and grow your mindset. Being curious, staying open-minded will continually grow your mindset because you're continually learning new things. You are being exposed to different ways of people doing like the same thing, Maybe people do like whatever you do for work, maybe they go about it a different way. Maybe they have a different process of getting their house organized and clean. Maybe they have a different way of homeschooling their kids, a different way of cooking quesadillas, a different way of, washing their car, organizing their garage, going grocery shopping, like whatever it may be. Everyone has a different way of doing something. And so by being open-minded and being curious, you can continue to grow your mindset that way because you're learning all these new things and being open to whenever those opportunities come up. So take the time to go out of your way to learn new things, try new hobbies and activities. Just step outside of your comfort zone on the regular, because I feel like one of the main reasons why we feel so stagnant and bored in our life is because we don't shake it up. And I understand that kind of like changing things, shaking it up, trying new things can be very scary and induce a lot of fear because of failing or not succeeding, or it kind of messing up your current routine. Because believe me when I tell you that routine is so key. Like once quarantine started, I was really upset that my routine was kind of shaken. But honestly, I'm super grateful for quarantine because a lot of great things have happened in our life since then, and so many things have gotten better. So I'm grateful for that kind of shake in our season so that we're able to transition into this next season. However, routine is great, and I'm trying to reestablish my new routine for this new season of life. But sometimes you just have to shake it up, and if you don't, you'll continue to be stagnant and not be able to grow and learn. So I just encourage you on the regular, step outside of your comfort zone. And it doesn't have to be something huge or big like me. Like literally today I was experiencing a life-changing event that was so great. But for you, maybe you just want to decide to eat something different for breakfast, or maybe you want to try add in a couple different exercises for your workout routine. Maybe you want to take a different route in the neighborhood for a walk. Maybe you want to introduce some new cuisines or new recipes into what you make for dinner. Like those kind of things. Maybe if you are able to, go online and find new recipes or find new clothes that you can try, or just like maybe you want to start a new hobby. Maybe you want to start jump roping. Maybe you want to start using adult coloring books. Maybe you want to learn how to... What would you want to learn how to do? Oh, tie-dye. Tie-dye is one of the biggest things that's been happening in quarantine. So I just encourage you, try new things, just get out there, get outside of your comfort zone, have fun, kind of like cut the stagnation that's in your life and just really open up if you can. And cultivating curiosity is one of the best ways to shake things up and improve your current skills and become better at problem solving, because you are exposing yourself to new opportunities and experiences. And it's absolutely amazing to just put yourself out there just a little bit. Understand. Again, I'm going to highlight the fact that, yes, you might have fear or, just struggle with the idea of actually trying new things and going after the things that you want to do, and just not knowing and having that anxiety of uncertainty. But I encourage you to just try a little bit. Take baby steps, and maybe you'll get so excited. Maybe you will get so addicted to the feeling of being trying new things, and it'll just continue to go on a roll, and it won't be so hard as it was when you first get started. Usually a lot of things when you start them from the beginning are either super scary or super exciting, or a mix of both. So I just encourage you, give it a little bit of a try, okay? Just give it a little bit of a try. I know that you can do it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I believe in you. Be a part of the world's continual continual process of reinventing reinventing processes and the way that things are done by getting out there and trying to do things differently. Think of it as reinventing the wheel, because obviously the way that people are able to come about finding a different way to make those recipes and finding a different way to wash their car and finding a different way to grocery shop is because they went out there and they tried it. They went out there and were like, what if I do it this way? Or what if I do it this way? Or, that's how people come up with different organizational ideas. That's how people will develop new ways of software and programming on the computer, and people will come up with new ideas for music that way. You just gotta get out there and try. Gotta get out there and mix it up, and maybe you're like, I can't do any of those things. I think that you can maybe come up with a really good idea for how you think is best to organize the clothes in your closet, or maybe like a linen closet in your home, or how you like to organize your pantry in the kitchen. Like, all of those things are things that you could definitely try and see if there's a better way to do it, even if it's just like as a hobby. Like, give it a try and just be like, okay, I'm gonna try to do it this way and this way. I just think that curiosity and trying things differently is so much fun. You can have so much fun. And believe me when I tell you that I understand that quarantine was definitely full of these kind of things. People are getting online and, reorganizing their house and just changing things up because they felt like they had nothing better to do. And I'm not necessarily advocating for that. I'm advocating for you to do it even when you have something else to do. Just kind of make it part of your daily life, because it's just so fun and you can see things from a fresh perspective. And I apologize if you're hearing a lot of moving around. It's because I was sitting on my leg and I'm trying to slowly, quietly move, but everything gets picked up by the microphone because my leg is falling asleep. So anyway, I encourage you, cultivate curiosity. Get out there, try new things. And some quick tips on how to become more curious. And I just want to give you 3 of them before we conclude this episode. Like I said, it's not going to be a very long one, but I knew it was really important to talk about this because this is definitely one of the keys to growing your mindset. But the first one is to read more books. And you might say oh yeah, I'm always reading books and learning new things, but maybe you still feel stagnant, or you still feel like life is boring or same business as usual. Maybe you need to switch up the kind of genre that you're reading. If maybe you read romance novels, maybe you need to try some new authors if that's what you enjoy. Maybe you like to read biographies, but you usually only do them from historians. Maybe you want to throw in a celebrity autobiography in there every once in a while, or maybe you want to read maybe a couple of self-help books, and maybe you already do that, and maybe you should read some fiction if you don't typically read fiction, or maybe you want to throw some magazines in there. I know I feel like the whole magazine industry is kind of dead. People still buy them, but not as much, especially when they have the online version. But I really like buying magazines with recipes in it, because I do truly like to keep those magazines or cut out those pages and put it in a physical cookbook. It just feels so much better. I use Pinterest to collect many recipes, and it's easy to organize and get to it really quickly, but then also sometimes it's really good just to have a paper recipe and be able to pull out my own cookbook that I've put together from printed recipes online and just look things up. So that could definitely be a thing. But I would just encourage you, read more books if you don't read a lot right now. And if you do read a lot right now, change the authors that you're reading, change the genres that you're reading, change whether it's fiction and nonfiction or vice versa. Also, maybe you do that. Maybe you could try doing audiobooks. And I know that audiobooks are kind of yes for a lot of people and no for some other people. I was no for the longest time. I'm slowly trying to drift into it, but I do really enjoy the feeling of actually reading a book. And typically, if I'm going to read a fiction book, like a romance novel or something like that, I will just read it on my Kindle because it's so compact and I can take it with me places. But I love reading it because sometimes I can get really distracted when I'm listening to an audiobook. So I have to pick the audiobooks that I listen to very carefully, because I have to be able to want to listen and want to engage and not just let it float by like a music playlist would, or even like a YouTube video that you put on the background while you're doing chores. So I just want to encourage you, read more things, switch it up from what your normal things are, try new things. Secondly, I think you should ask more questions and figure out why things are the way they are, and if changing them would be good, would that be for the better? So maybe you're at work and you want to ask more questions on like, okay, why do we do processes like this? Like, not in an annoying way. I understand that can be annoying, but like ask more questions about like why things are the way they are. Maybe you'll come up with some ideas and like, okay, well, maybe we can try it this way. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can figure out a better way to get this done. Or maybe you are noticing something that is never getting done and you're like, hey, here's some ideas on how we can switch this up, ask questions. Or maybe within your friend group, you can be like, okay, well, why do we always tend to go to this kind of cuisine? Maybe, is there a reason why we don't go and check out like an Indian restaurant, or we don't go and eat pizza more? We always are eating Thai, or always eating Chinese, or, like those are the cuisines that I really like and enjoy. Or, we're always eating burgers and we're never going out for steak and fish. And so I would ask for questions like that. Or maybe even in your marriage, or as being a parent, like you're like, okay, well, why do we always like plan our vacations like this? Maybe we should plan it like this. Or why do we conduct schooling or tutoring or chores or some sort of reward system like this? Why don't we try it this way? Like, I just encourage you, ask questions, ask yourself why you do things or why other people may do things in one way, and if there's another way, and another way that would work better, or another way that would be worse, so you avoid doing that, or getting other people's perspectives on what they do, and just kind of like collaborating and figuring out if things should change, could change, and why it happens the way it does. And lastly, spend some time with a child, or try to think how a child does, to experience a different perspective. This will help you to break from any possible bouts of being jaded or cynical. And I feel like a lot of us can fall into those traps where we're like, we aren't seeing the world in a different perspective because of all the experiences we've gone through and all the troubles that we've endured and all the changes that we've had to make. But a lot of times we just need to see the joy and excitement that a child has for discovering something for the first time, being able to walk, being able to go to the bathroom, be able to read and write, and go places, smell flowers, see nature, have cookies, try things for the first time, have experiences going places. Like, just see the excitement and the joy they have, and the way that they learn how to do things, and the struggles that they go through, and take in all of that knowledge, take in all of that perspective. If you do have a child that you can like observe and kind of like go through it with them, and if you don't, maybe you can just like go online and research how to like think in that mindset, so that you can see things from a different perspective, shake yourself up, become more excited about life, and promote more joy, so that things aren't stagnant and boring, and that you will be able to cultivate the curiosity that a child has. So that's it for this episode. I just want to encourage you to get out there, shake it up, cultivate curiosity in your life. Have the desire to want to learn new things, actually go learn them, share that information with others, have a roundtable discussion about it, have a text about it, write letters, talk about it on the internet, whatever you want to do. But I just encourage you, get out there, be curious, be excited, have more joy in your life. I believe that being curious will give you more joy in your life. So thank you again for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Again, my name is Sabrina, and happy Thursday. If you really enjoyed this episode, I'm so happy you did. And I encourage you to share it with someone else that would really enjoy it as well. Again, check the description box for any notes for the show, my website information, where you can email me any questions, comments, concerns, or prayer requests, how you can find me on Instagram, and that's about it. But again, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you come back for tomorrow's episode, which will be the Friday, which will be the close of this week's topic. But again, thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye, guys.